In this video we're going to talk about unbeneficial programming, also called clouds, and how they are limiting your life experience. We ask you to consider returning the energy shared in these videos through PayPal or Patreon to unlock flow for yourself and so that we can continue sharing the source truth and guidance. More empowerment and clarity to you. As a source player, you would benefit from being completely free from the matrix and any misconception that you could possibly have about anything. But that type of achievement to its fullest degree is impossible, because when you have achieved it, you can still achieve more. But there is of course a highest level of clarity, highest dimension, where you see the game for what it is. You have great knowledge in how to navigate life. You understand the game the way it should be understood, for the simplest truth of what it is. And when you get there, you will still have potential misconceptions in certain areas of life, and you can still grow. And you can always grow. You can always get more powerful, get more clarity about new things that you want to learn about or new accomplishments you want to have. And like I said, even when you get to the highest dimension, you will still have to play the game. You won't get to a point where it's holiday from now on, and where you don't need to do anything and you can just lay back down and relax. It is always a game, no matter what. So now we understand that it is the lack of clarity you have in certain areas of life that is putting a limitation on the experience you can have within those areas. You have the overall clarity for the essential aspects of life. What is the point of the game? Where are we? Who are we? How do we deal with change, subconscious programming? Well, before you would ever start doing shadow work, you would have to understand what you want in that given scenario. If it is in regards to the essential things, what is life? Who am I? Then it would be because you don't know what life is and who you are. And if that is something you really want to gain clarity about, then you will pursue that clarity and you will get it. And since you're watching this video now, you probably have that clarity. You know where you are, you know who you are. Some of you maybe not as well as you should, and you would benefit a lot from gaining the clarity about that and those things. But as you go about your day, you will encounter other things also that you would like to change. You have the big essential things where you want clarity and you can start living life in alignment with those truths. Who you are, now suddenly you deserve great empowerment. And where you are, now you want to know how things work. So you pursue that type of clarity. And anything that you don't know or don't understand or misunderstand will potentially put a limitation on your life experience. But you see, that is always going to be the case. There will always be things that you could raise the frequency of or gain a greater grasp of to increase your empowerment and freedom. And right now you probably have things that you would like to gain more clarity about. You probably have things that you would want to change in your life. And you would benefit from becoming more aware of what those things are. You have anything from small changes to big changes. And whichever ones are holding you back the most or bothering you the most are probably the things that you are going to be most interested in dealing with. Things that don't matter to you are often very difficult to deal with. It can be hard to find time and energy to efficiently deal with those things. But if that should be about something that is important for you to break free and you simply don't care about it, then you can use your intent. Use your intent on arriving at a place soon where you care about it, and you can use your intent on successfully gaining that clarity and making that change, where it is a thing that you truly want. So you see that change is always possible. And as a source player in the game of life who is increasing their empowerment, raising the frequency of their avatar, you would want to be someone who can distinguish between an important change and important change. Don't waste your time thinking about small things that aren't going to raise your frequency, but rather waste your energy. And learn to be someone who can focus on important things. Things that will make you more empowered, more free, in highest clarity about who you are, where you are, how to make change efficiently, how to be truly powerful, just like you wanted to become when you entered this game. And if you were to play around with change that is rather unnecessary, then do it for a good reason. Make it a good practice. I'm saying normally if you get a mosquito bite and it is a little scratchy, while a high frequency source player would neutralize that scratch with their intent, and they wouldn't feel the mosquito bite anymore. And from that point on, you don't think more about it. You don't want to spend a day using your intent on trying to make the red little mark that is remaining on your skin disappear. You leave it there and it will be gone in a day or two. So I'm just saying, don't be too hard on yourself with what change you're trying to make, because often small things can be a good practice. Neutralize the scratching from that mosquito bite, or similar things to it. So what I'm saying is that you will always experience less frequency and empowerment than you could have. And that will always be true. And what that means is that you will always have shadows. There will always be clouds. There will always be things that you could understand better or have more empowerment within. When you understand that a shadow is just you having a little subconscious issue in regards to a specific thing. And that it's always going to be like that. Yeah, sure, you will get to highest frequency and you will have great clarity and a greater ability in dealing with those things, but it will always be the case. You can always raise your frequency. You can always get more empowered. When you understand that it's just a little subconscious issue, and when you understand what I'm saying here, then you can feel totally fine with not having dealt with everything in life. You can feel totally fine with still having some problems, with still having things that you can be more empowered within, more free, have more clarity. You will see that it's totally fine. But you still, of course, want to deal with things and raise your frequency. So use your intent on dealing with the things that are right for you. Practice with the things that are right for you. Intend on raising your frequency. Intend on raising the frequency of your subconscious, of your overall avatar, becoming more free, more empowered. And the areas of life where you can have problems or shadows or misconceptions is every area. No matter what direction you look or what aspect of life you are thinking about, you could always understand it better. If you know, whenever you are thinking about a certain thing, an aspect of life or a given scenario, that you are perceiving that thing in the highest frequency, and that it's giving you complete freedom. You feel completely free on the highest frequency while thinking about that thing. Well, then there is nothing to do about that thing. Then the frequency is as high as it can get. If you're experiencing the opposite, then it means that you can raise the frequency of that thing. And if you're having the experience that something seems very dark or scary or difficult, anything negative, if you're having any negative reaction to thinking about something, then you would benefit from having high frequency within that thing. Now this thing is a shadow. It is you perceiving it in a low frequency way. And it is not as beneficial as perceiving it for what it is. So if you can understand that anytime something feels bad, anytime you are feeling angry about something, anytime something is really upsetting you or difficult or anything like that, then you're having a low frequency way of perceiving that thing. And there is no truth to the perception you have of that thing. At least not the parts that are making you upset. So essentially you want to reach highest frequency, where you feel completely free. And the more areas where you can have that achievement, the better. The wider and more complete your clarity can be, the better. More benefit to you. And right now I'm sure you can think of things that you don't have the highest frequency mindset about or understanding of. And you need to be totally fine with that. That is just the way it is. That's just the way it's going to be. But is that thing important for you to raise your frequency within? That is what you always need to ask yourself. Is there any benefit to having clarity about that thing? And with many things, you would see that it doesn't matter. Not now, at least, at this point in your journey. There are other things, other shadows, other problems that you would benefit infinitely more from dealing with. And you use your intent on those beneficial things, that you will gain clarity about them. Admit to yourself that you want to know it, you want to have clarity, you want to have that achievement, and intend to know that it is a level of frequency and clarity that you will achieve. And you can intend on achieving it now with the things that are rather an essential type of a frequency that you want to gain, but you recognize that it's not important to you, then you can use your intent on letting go of those things. Tell yourself that it's not important for you now, it is not something that you need to focus more on now. You can let go of it. See it go and don't entertain it anymore. And if you wanted to, you could make a list of the things that you think are important for you now. Maybe as you look at that list, you will see that certain things aren't really that important, but some of the things are. And then you intend to achieve highest frequency and clarity about those important things. In the next video, we're going more in depth on how to deal with the low frequency subconscious and replacing it with high frequency subconscious. If you have benefited from this content, consider returning the energy through PayPal or Patreon. You get out of this whatever you put in. More empowerment and clarity to you. Thank you.